Hey everybody, Phoenix Flight coming back with another replay review. Just a quick update, I have been starting to play again, looking to start streaming again soon. More to come on that, but just a quick update on the rating. About 500 here in the 501 English speaking region, and 1300 here when looking at the world. So I was on Twitch the other day and saw a new streamer trying to get into Mecha here who had a little discussion with him. So I got a replay review coming up for this brand new streamer named Horseplay here. Horseplay, join the Mechabellum Discord. You'll have plenty of discussion to be had here. So this is a roughly 1100 to 1200 level game here we're looking at, with Horseplay as our protagonist, going into a ball crawl speed specialist. So we're going to anticipate aggro here once the selection is made. He is going to be going for supply specialist with storms and fangs. Very well-rounded sort of option if you're going to be playing more of a defensive standard style game. Wouldn't necessarily recommend this per se for aggro, mostly just because the units are so slow and that the storms can really struggle in close range engagements, but we'll see what we do here. Going into an enemy. Interesting that the enemy playing speed specialist, but not really leveraging the speed, right? Because if you're speed specialist, you're generally going to want to go for an aggro push to get into the tower as fast as possible. When we have all of our units in the back more defensively like this, we kind of nullify the whole point of speed specialist. I wouldn't say never do it. I mean, because Speed Specialist is kind of like a soft counter to the storms, just given the speed of the units will cause, the storms to miss more often. First round missile, it worked in this case, but it's a very don't try this at home kind of play. I mean, in this case, you got really lucky with the placement of the units and got some great value out of it. It's just a high risk play, not necessarily bad. I mean, as a supply specialist, generally speaking, round one, we're going to save that 50 supply, and then round 2 or 3 is when, we start to make a little bit more use of the extra supply. But it worked out in this case, so I can't complain too much, especially to get a nice hit to start the game. All right, what are we thinking here? So, intensive training. We do run elite on our arcs, so I do like the idea of intensive training if we want to go for like a carry arc light style game. Improve Phoenix a little too early to know if we're going to want it. EMP too early to be useful. Extended range Ray could be interesting. I wouldn't hate it if you go for it, especially with the changes the Rays have had recently, especially with the the high explosive on the Ray. So good now, especially if Rooster had a video either today or the other day by the time this is uploaded showing how good they can be. I don't like the idea of a second missile here. It might work out again, but if I'm the opponent, I just put like some fangs there and there just to eat these missiles right away. But okay, you're going intense training. Could be the good pick long term. Need more chaff. Are we going to build out the back line, or how are we going to do this? Yeah, this is fine, especially for aggro style play. I'm more of, when I do these aggressive pushes, I'm not quite as aggressive as this. Like, I enjoy putting my crawlers still all the way in the back as anti-flank, or at least slowing down a flank option. But yeah, in the early game, I do like that we are going for additional units. It's so important early on just to get numbers in the early game. Oftentimes when I was just starting out, when I had extra money at the end of a turn in the early game, I'd go for maybe, say, attack or defense early on. Not worth it most of the time. You're generally going to want to do the additional unit and just do another chaff or an arc light or what have you, just to get numbers early on. Okay, let's see how this second missile goes. Again, pretty solid. Enemy has no chaff clear, by the way. Huge blunder from him. I mean, he saw you had a whole bunch of fangs, and he's just completely disrespecting them early on. So the fact that you have all this chaff should be a huge benefit. But also the fact that we got to be thinking that these Stormcallers are not long for this world. We don't necessarily need to sell them per se, but we can't rely on them for significant damage long term, given that this enemy is a speed specialist, right? And those steel balls are pretty tanky, and they're going to avoid many of the shots. So we don't want to necessarily commit to them. All right, options here. We got to be at least thinking Wasp to have some nice AA. I like Wasp in the back as an option, as an anti-flank thing. Fort could be pretty good into the steel balls as long as you can clear his chaff fast enough to justify it. Same deal with high-level marksman. Typhoon would be okay if you're gonna like put it, say, here and do shields, and that'd be like countering missiles. I think all the options reasonable. Okay, I don't like that the marksmen are so close to the arc lights. Like, I get the idea, but what's gonna happen is because of the chaff here and here, along with the arcs, all the units are gonna funnel into them, which is good when you want chaff to approach the arc lights, but you don't want chaff approaching the marksman. So generally speaking, you're going to want the marksman a little bit further away. They should be near the arc lights, but not right next to them, right? The idea being they can take out the heavier units. I do like Scorpion, but I'm like, why Scorpion and marksman? Right? And also the fact, I mean, we should have been thinking anti-air. I mean, I get that it was a unit drop round. You know, if you weren't going to pick the Wasp or the Typhoon, we should have gone like Mustangs or Fangs to have some more anti-air, because what's going to happen is these Fangs are going to die relatively quickly as just chaff, and you'll have no answer for the Wasps. I'm sure next turn you will have a better answer for them, I hope. Also, we're not making use of the intensive training. Why do we have this? Okay. I digress. There you go. You got it in just in time. Alrighty. So, like, see how bunched up these units are? Like, this is... you can get punished by this horribly if the enemy goes, say, Scorpions himself. But, yeah, as we can see, the Wasps are going to be really devastating for you. But then again, the enemy still doesn't have good chaff clear, so, I mean, it's like he's kind of using his Wasps as chaff clear. That's not ideal by any means. Kind of an unusual round, but all things considered, this could have gone way worse for you, so... yeah, you'll steal this one just because the Fangs actually survived because enemy chaff clear was so poor. So, I mean, if I'm an enemy, I gotta be thinking... either Vulcan. All right. Obviously, we're not doing sub Stormcaller. It's, you know, he's too fast. Especially if he goes all memey and picks the advanced power system, then the Stormcallers lose all their value. Ion Blast you can't do because he's too fast. So I'm thinking either advanced missiles or we just skip here. Enemy, at this level, I bet he just goes for the memes and just goes for the advanced power system, even though an Ion Blast vertically right here could be pretty devastating. But I can't help but at least think it'd be funny if he goes for the extra speed. Sub Stormcaller for enemy, I don't understand it. Oh, maybe a little bit. Maybe, I think what's going on, if I'm thinking from his perspective here, he's seeing that all your units are getting bunched up in one little area, and he's going to try to punish it. But then if that's the case, I don't understand why he's putting him so close. Your Ion Blast, I don't know where you're going to put this thing because he is so fast. Oh, man, you're going to just guess correct. Wow, you might just guess correctly here just by pure luck. That's crazy. Yeah, high explosive. So he's using the Stormcallers as chaff clear. Little unconventional, but I don't hate it. It shouldn't be his only option, though. He should have additional chaff clear. Whether it be arc lights of his own would be probably the easiest, or maybe later going into Vulcan. Mustang's perfect. I mean, you got to respect the Wasps. Cannot let them get out of control. Fangs cannot sustainably wipe out the Wasps. So I think Mustangs are the right play. I don't think this Ion was the right play because of his speed, and then you'll just barely clip the Stormcallers here and get a little lucky there. Your aim's actually a little better than I thought. I stand corrected. That was actually pretty solid, but I still think long-term the skip might have been better. Alright. I can't complain, though. So yeah, we're taking out the Wasps. I mean, at this point, I think we sell the Stormcallers. They're not doing a ton of damage. They've kind of served their purpose, and the enemy's just too fast, and now he's starting to go into the air more. I think they're just a liability more than anything else. Yeah, I think we sell them and pivot to another option for heavy damage dealing. Like maybe more Scorpions, give them range directly across from the steel balls. Okay, what do we have here? So, ER Saber, probably not that great into the steel balls, especially if you can't take out the chaff fast enough. Generally speaking, I'm of the teaching that if you can't win the chaff war, you won't win the DPS war. Meaning, we got to be able to take out these crawlers and fangs, or no fangs in this case, but wasps, before we can think about taking out the steel balls, right? Because who cares about these marksmen? Like, look how little damage these marksmen are doing. Right, it's because they're getting stuck on these fangs and wasps. They're not having an opportunity to hit the steel balls where they'd be more valuable. Meanwhile, Scorpion here did amazing, so we got to be thinking about ranking him up, giving him range, making more of them, and then improving the chaff clear by the typical way would be just giving the arc lights range, just so they can start shooting earlier and stay safer. Mass-produced fort. I don't like mass-produced fort when we're going into steel balls and Stormcallers. Granted, the Storms are going to be doing less damage with the HE. Acid Blast. He's so fast that he's going to move right through it, so I would only consider an Acid Blast if you go through with a oil drop from the tower and then double up on them as a surprise move, so his units get stuck in the acid. And EMP Blast, just outrageously expensive, and his units are really wide spread out, so I don't see a ton of value in it at the moment. But it is good, by the way, that you have a arc light in the back here as a flank defense. Alright, enemy skips. What are you going to be doing here? Alright, enemy believing in his wasps. They did great. I would imagine he probably wants to go ground spec or range coming up here. Maybe even elite if he's a madman. Okay, you're going acid, but where are you going to put it? Okay, pretty much where I expect. But again, unless you do an oil drop on top of this, they're just going to drive right through this without having much problem. I like the range, but let's... oh, you undo the range. Okay. I would do range on arcs first, but okay, he's going loose crawlers, so... That's actually going to... Obviously, you don't know he's doing that yet, but when the time comes, range on the Mustangs will really help out. You don't run splash on the Mustangs. I get armor-piercing bullets. I am more of a believer in splash, because once enemy goes into loose crawlers, arc lights lose effectiveness, and then splash Mustangs become extremely strong against them. And he's going to put down some steel balls to distract, so this flank might go through. Phoenixes, I don't understand the Phoenixes, because you already had Marksmen and Scorpions to be your heavy hitters, right? They already fulfill that role. I don't get why Phoenixes on top of it. You're just like splitting stuff among multiple units. Okay. And, like, let's see here, right? So they're going through the acid, but look how fast they are, though. Like, nothing stays in the acid long enough to really make it worth your while. Yeah, next turn we got to get range on the Mustangs. We need to keep them back. We need to sell these Stormcallers. Oh, I mean, this round they happen to be doing pretty decently, but It's kind of fluky, honestly. The last few turns were pretty tough for him. Let's speed it up here. You're going to be completely overwhelmed by too many wasps. So don't necessarily need to do AA wasp quite yet, or AA stang, but definitely range for sure. I mean, none of these really entice me. Mass-produced Phoenix, I don't understand at all. You just nerfed your own Phoenixes that you paid full price for. And now you're going to be incentivized to build even more of them. I just don't understand it. Farseer anti-missile? I mean, I don't hate it, but it's like these guys aren't doing a ton of damage. I just feel like you need the Mustang range is way more important. Okay, now you go for the oil play. Okay, now you've thought of it. We should also put, instead of going into these Phoenixes, man, we should be selling these Storms, getting range on these guys, putting a set of crawlers over here to distract the steel balls, and then since your crawlers don't have loose and his do, you'll win that one-on-one. And then unfortunately he's going to be exploiting a wide open hole. Oh, no, you've anticipated something, so you can get to missile it down. Also, we've had this intensive training sitting here for a while, not making good use of it until now. But I don't understand. Okay, because of the arc light. But see, like arc lights, they struggle against loose crawlers, right? Yeah, range on the Stangs is an absolute must. I'm standing corrected, like, the Stormcrawlers are doing better than anticipated, admittedly. But again, I still really don't understand the mass-produced Phoenix. You paid for one at full price, then get mass-produced, and then don't build anymore, so you just nerf yourself for no good reason. I just don't understand it. Like, I get it if you want to try, like, a quantum reassembly Phoenix spam, and you put them all over the place, but I don't think that's going to work here, given how many wasps he has. It doesn't make sense, especially now he ranged his wasps to make him even better. What are we going to be doing here? You're going to go Hounds? I don't hate them. I just want to be curious. Okay, so you want to set the oil on fire? Yeah, that, especially given we got loose crawlers, fire wipes them out extremely quickly. Yeah, so main things, again, not to be super bad. We need range on the Mustangs. We need a crawler pack here to buy time. Because if the Mustangs have range, they'll keep them back. And at this point with the Wasps getting out of control, you may have to do air spec on top of it. Okay, go air spec first. Do we get range? Please get range. Can we afford range? We can't afford range unless you sell some. Oh, you level them. See, you need to do range first because it's more important to keep the Mustangs in the back so they stay safe for longer before they can do more damage. Right, because what's the point of doing a lot of damage if they die before they even have a chance to do so, right? Doing a ton of missiles here. I mean, at least you're loaning. Normally, I wouldn't want to loan. 7 is like the earliest I would consider loaning. Really just depends on what we got out of the loan here. Also, we could punish him a bit with, say, like a Wasp flank in the back and do a mobile beacon into this guy. Because he's got no anti-air in that corner. Okay, you should have a pretty decent round having set this on fire, I would hope. Yeah, and then once the Mustangs get onto the Wasps, they do great. It's just they got to clear out stuff before then. Yeah, this should be a good round for you. Yeah, I'm starting to think that you just like accidentally clicked mass-produce Phoenix and didn't mean it at this point. Okay, we got the Ion Blast coming back. Additional deploy, so good. Either that or a big photon right here to cover all your guys. Either one is totally a defensible choice. Super heavy and fortified make no real sense to me in this kind of board. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Let's see, enemy going into anti-missile stangs to try to stop the fire from landing from the dogs, and also would nullify your Farseers as well. Yeah, interesting how the Scorpion's really fallen off in recent rounds. Oh, we're going into a mountain. You're going Photon. Where are you going to put this guy? And are we going to intensive train him and make him level 2? No, I can't afford it. Yeah, I don't get the mountain. Like, this isn't really a board where giants make sense. Instead of this mountain, you would have been better off getting range on the stangs, upgrading them, because you need to keep these wasps under control if you want any chance of winning. Then again, need some sort of chaff over here so you don't just lose your tower right away. So it'd be like Fang here, Crawler there. And then if you want to be really cheeky, go Wasp here, Mobile Beacon to that guy straight away. Or even if you really want to risk it, you put him here and Mobile Beacon like that if you anticipate no anti-air. Because look, there's no anti-air in this whole half of the board, so you could totally exploit it. We're going for the extended range ammo. So yeah, he's got all the range in the world, but like, it doesn't really matter because he's going to be stuck on chaff. Steel balls are going to get on him soon, and it's going to be over. See, and crawlers are at his feet. He's got no chance of dealing with all this. Yeah, the mountain is not the right play here. All right, let's speed it up. This round's over. Is that... No, not quite game. But can we come back from this? Ooh. Ooh, Abyss. Let me think here. Sabers don't really like into this board, given all the steel balls that are moving in quickly. Vulcan could be a play to just melt all this chaff and all these little guys. Let's see. Triple Void Eye? Rank 4? I wouldn't hate the Void Eye pick. You can go like Void Eye, like just across from the steel balls, like Void Eye, something like that. They're actually pretty good at dealing with them, especially at a high level. Or you just do the simple play and just do like an Abyss. And then I'm a fan of Wreckage Recycling in particular. It's only 100 cost, and then just gains health every time it starts wiping out this area. But interesting. Wow, the mountain did rank up though, so we gotta prioritize making him level 2. But yeah, I kind of like the Void Eye idea, given how problematic the steel balls were. But then again, on the other side, maybe we just go. Yeah, maybe the play is multiple. We get this level 3 Vulcan and get 2 more. So maybe it's like Vulcan. Man, it's just difficult with some of the placement of stuff. So maybe it's like Vulcan, and then another one over here. And then we go like Chaff for our other 2 deployments. It's a tough choice. This might be one where it's too far gone to win. Enemy going into the Abyss. Great pick for him. You're all bunched up, so the Abyss can really punish that. We have to get range on these Mustangs to have any chance of winning this game. I mean, they're great into the crawlers, great into the Mustangs. I mean, it's a level 2 Abyss with range, so that's going to be tough for them to deal with. And with the swarm missiles. Yeah, this Abyss seems like it's going to be the finishing move here. Yeah, you go into the Vulcan. I don't hate it. It's kind of what I was thinking, but it just depends on what else do. You build one Vulcan with range, but are we going to build more? No. Why do we tech the Vulcan if we're only building one of them? I don't understand. Like with the Abyss, I get it, just because it is such a crazy unit that even if there's only one of them, giving it a tech can be worth it, especially when you're just going for the kill and you don't care about efficient maintenance. Yeah, like, see, the Vulcan is doing amazing, but there needs to be more. You need more Vulcans. Yeah, and then you never put chaff on this right side, so the tower falls. You just don't give yourself enough time to win. And then with him as speed specialist, he just comes in, wipes you out. So that looks like it's going to be GG, unfortunately. But let's take a look here. Yeah, it's a loss. Well, first off, thank you for submitting a loss. I know it's not fun going over the losses, but this is how we get better at the game. So yeah, I've said my spiel on how we could have done this. So I'm going to try to do 1400 damage here to Browner here. I'll give it a shot. I'm not going to like totally cheese it and just like know where the Abyss is, etc. So I'm going to go for the Vulcan play. Like, I liked that. We're going to do this. We're going to make... Man, I don't like this mountain like at all. Do we have this? Yeah, I'm going to sell the mountain. I don't want the mountain. Upgrade you, upgrade you. Chaff, chaff. Put you over here. Acid blast. We're gonna put you like maybe there. We're gonna be mass recruit another Vulcan. And I mean, I know the Abyss goes there, but like I can't cheese it, so I could be like this. So at least now we got 2 Vulcans. The chaff is just so important to buy time. And at this point in the game, we have to loan. Let's get temp range. Temp speed's going to do nothing. We can't get into his side. We are playing super defensively, so speed has like no value for us. Let's go upgrade the marksmen so we have some heavy hitters. And then, man, what do I do? Or no, it's... Oh man, this is tough. This is tough, but I'm gonna try. Or no, we upgrade one of you, the other one stays. Then we're gonna make you actually a level 4 Vulcan so you can really get through some stuff. I don't know if I can win this. This might be too far gone, but I'm gonna try. So I'd have to do 1400 damage to win, or just win the round to not lose the game. Like, see these steel balls now? They're getting stuck on the crawlers. These guys are getting stuck on the fangs. Look how much more time it's buying for all of our units here. I mean, the tower will still fall, but it bought us more time. Like, we needed that chaff like 4 rounds ago, though, unfortunately. So now it's like just too little too late. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to turn this around, unfortunately. Oh, man. Let me see if I can go back one more different round here. It was the round where you bought the mountain, I think, is really the one that kind of gave it away. Was that 7 or 8? 7, the mountain wasn't here yet. Okay. Here, I'm gonna try this round here instead. Alright, so be going for the hounds. I did like the fire idea. We want to spread them out so the fire goes all over. We needed chaff here a while ago. We're gonna pull these guys this way, or actually do this. Then it pulls some of the steel balls out of the way as well. Then we're going to mass recruit you guys. Like we saw earlier, he had no AA in this area, so I wanted to try to punish that for even just 1 round, and then we could just sell these guys, but just to get some tempo back and force him to respond. Okay, we're doing that. And do I want to level anything? No. Have I sold anything? Let's get rid of you guys. You're hardly doing anything. Temp range. Man, I want to do so many things. Let's see what happens if we push and go for range first. This is gonna... Just want to see if this round could have been better. Okay, so these guys are actually level 2s, but they're loose. So they are beatable. Let's see where... Even this shallow flank, man, it pulls them all away. Opens the tower wide open. And look how far the Mustangs are back. See, the Hounds lay down the fire to kill the ground chaff. Mustangs stay in the back to kill all the Wasps. This could have been a round where pushing for this lone makes all the difference. And then the next round we level the Mustangs, and if he goes hardcore into the Wasp, only then do we do air spec. We don't do air spec first because he doesn't necessarily have a major commitment to the Wasps at this point in the game. He had 3,000 health at the time, so he would have been down to around 1,500-ish after that. All right, thank you so much for submitting your replay. His channel on Twitch is going to be in the description. Please go check him out sometime. He's just getting started in the streaming game, so I'm just trying to do my part to give back to the community and help out a little bit. My name's Phoenix Flight, and have a good night.